Hey everybody, it is Dungeon Master Mark, and today's video will be our gaming session number 24. So this will be gaming session 14 of our Undermountain series, or I should say quest for the Undermountain. So in the last session, the party went to the pirate stronghold. They were able to negotiate a little bit with the pirate lord. He did let them know that one of the deals he had with the Lich was there was an ancient observatory there on the island. It's actually underground. Sounds a little strange, but hear me out. This magical observatory was in this ancient, like elder magical area underneath this complex. And he knows that it's beneath the sewers. He knows kind of an idea of how to get to it. His people don't go down there. He knows the Lich's minions created something down there to harness this magic, where there's like an observatory where you can see different things on the plains. And he gives the party a simple map on how to get to this location from one of his scouts that was able to find the location, or I should say the entrance, but they did not enter. So to get there, they do have to go through the sewers underneath this kind of city's like sewer grid system. So of course the party is going to enter down the sewer complex, down a ladder in the city streets. There are going to be these are intellect oozes, so they're basically semi-intelligent oozes, and they do wisdom damage. Of course there's going to be some different chambers, and of course you'll see there's some sewer grates that lead into small little rooms, which there's going to be some random encounters if they do roll. One of which, of course, is going to be a giant slug, which is very poisonous. I should say toxic, not poisonous. But once they get to this particular area, there's this rather ancient-looking stonework, and there's this like a grate that can be pulled up, and then it looks like there's steps going down. So what the party kind of doesn't quite understand why this observatory would be underground. So this is the magical observatory here. We'll get back to that. They go back down to these ancient steps, and of course there's these huge double doors with the symbol of the Lich's face above it. There's all this different arcane writing around the doors. The party goes to open the doors, and of course they're completely unlocked, but as soon as they do that, on the far side of the wall they see this shimmering wall of force and this large blue figure. I printed this guy up the other day. He is, of course, a genie. He may look kind of similar to a certain Disney genie. My wife kind of got a kick out of that. And, of course, that magical opaque wall of force behind it. He is intelligent, obviously. They are able to speak to him. He does not immediately attack them. So he basically tells them that he was bound to servitude by the Lich. It's been over 100 years ago. He is part of the guardian of this temple, and his rules of what he can tell them, what he cannot tell them, is quite specific. He is able to give them some advice on things they can do to find the observatory. If they ask him the purpose of the observatory, he says he only has limited knowledge, and he'll go into some of the backstory, which he basically tells them that on the far end of this complex, that there is a kind of a scrying device up on the ceiling. So imagine like a mirror of scrying that only looks at different planes and it randomly shifts. And then there's a magical observatory, a mechanical device that allows the user to see magnified views of what they're seeking on those planes. So basically think about it kind of like a telescope, except for it allows you to scry through that magical portal on the ceiling. So if you will, way up here in the ceiling, there's this giant kind of mirror, and it will randomly show different things in that mirror, different planes of existence. And with this device, you can focus your attention and then your scrying across those planes. So it's kind of something I've been toying with the idea of for a while. Of course, it's on this giant platform, which there's a ladder to get up to. And of course, you have to stand, and you have to, when you are using it, you're basically fully encumbered by this device, because you have a bunch of different levers and things like that. So if there is any type of combat, whoever's using it to discover something is completely helpless when they are using this device. So now this is going to be kind of a magical trap that the Lich set up. On this side you have these flaming skeletons. that are only commanded if someone other than the genie comes down this hallway. On the far side, you've got this weird looking zombie with this huge barrel that is full of a alchemical grease or like a Greek oil type mixture, which is highly, highly flammable. So think about him carrying a giant box of explosives or barrel of explosives. And then you've got flaming skeletons, which when they die, they burst. So if the genie does let them through, which there's a certain gemstone that allows them to get through the portal, the genie is not able to tell them that, but if the person who has the gemstone walks up to the portal will drop. So the genie's not able to tell them this. They can kind of play like Pictionary with him and say, you know, can you give us a hint? He goes, no, I'm not able to tell you about the device that'll let you get past or something like that. He's able to kind of give them hints, but not able to say like gemstone, things like that. So it's almost like playing Pictionary where they can ask him certain questions, but it should be kind of interesting. It's kind of like a verbal puzzle, if you will. Once we get to this point, there's going to be 2 of these advanced shield guardians that were set up basically the same thing as before. If they hear any loud explosion, they're able to be set off to go to search or attack. If anyone besides the genie comes up, they will then lumber down this 5-foot hallway, of course they have to inch through, it takes them a while, and then they're able to attack. They are ordered not to attack if someone is using the observatory. So it's kind of a twist because the Lich wanted to make it so that if one of his servants came through, they would just be able to cast invisibility, take a magical device, walk down, use this, and basically get out while being invisible. Past this point, the shield guardians would not be able to, or would not attack them. So, kind of a catch-22. The Lich thought of a couple things to bypass some of these defenses. Of course, the party does not realize that they will not attack if someone's invisible. So, like I said, it should be a very, very interesting combat. I don't expect this to be a very long session today. I'm thinking maybe at most, maybe 3 hours. So, but bear with me, guys. Like I said, we are at day 24. I'm going to try to keep this vlog going for at least the full 30 days. Like I said, being quarantined in your house for 30 days with your family is challenging to say the least. Like I said, I know I'm starting to get a little burnout. I've used up a lot of ideas in my campaign book. But I still got some more ideas, like I said, and we may have to switch it up, do a couple different things. But I did want to show you guys, like I said, this simple setup. And hopefully it'll inspire you guys. If you guys have some people with your house to play with, you guys will come up with some ideas as well. All right, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.